Okay. So with that being said, I want to take us here. I'm gonna do a quick screen share real quick because now, I mean, we talked about what it looked like in the pitfalls and the traps. So I came across this article. I had to
Mhm.
read through it a little bit because I was like, I don't know what uh this food.com. I didn't really know like if it was legitimate or not. But I kind of reading through the article. I'm like, okay, I could kind of get with it. Sound all right, so the number one way for average Americans to become middle millionaires, unless you like a business owner, you doing your thing, but you're not. You're working your 9 to 5 job. So let's keep it real. It don't mean that you can't be. Maybe you got a side hustle, some other thing, but let's keep it real. You got your 9 to 5 job right now. So let's look at it from that lens, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And so they're speaking to the average American to become millionaires. So let's break it down. Let's see what the article is talking about, and then we'll add some commentary to it. So the key points: a study found that 49% of self-made millionaires get there by saving and investing at least 20% of their income. It takes time and consistency. The people in this savers investor group accumulate their wealth over 32 years on average. Think about
Wow.
that. 32 years. Saver investors live frugally, purchase high quality products that are built to last, and stay out of credit card debt. So, the most popular path to becoming a millionaire. So, they did a study, Rich Habit study. Uh, you've even probably heard even Dave Ramsey talking about he's done studies and this and that. So,
Yeah.
there's three of those paths won't be an option for everyone. Well, sorry. He found that there were part of the study, he found that there were four common paths followed by self-made millionaires. Let's listen them out. Three of those paths won't be an option for everyone. There are virtuoso who became rich because of incredible talents, LeBron James. So everyone ain't doing that. There are entrepreneurs who work long hours in hopes of building successful businesses, and there are company climbers who work their way up the corporate ladder, right? The next one is there's a fourth path, saver investors. They aren't born rich, they don't make big bucks. What they do is consistently save 20% or more of each paycheck. Yes, that's it. It's simple, but highly effective. It also the most popular millionaire path that was found, with 49% of self-made millionaires building wealth this way. Following the saver investor path to 1 million. The saver investor path may be simple, but that doesn't make it easy. 20% of your income for a month or two. The saver investor study did it much longer. It took them an average of 32 years to accumulate their wealth. That's a long time. That's a long time, which came out to an average of 3.3 million. If you can consistently save 20% of your income, you could get incredible results over time. Let's say your household makes 75,000 around the median US income. Some of that will go to taxes, although you can contribute to retirement accounts pre-tax, which will reduce your overall taxable income. Well, you assume say 20% of your take-home pay and it amounts to 12,000 per year. Here's how it would grow. Now you see how when I be talking to you, I'm like, bro, put money in that brokerage account, this and that, because you got to get started. You can have dreams and ambitions and goals of like, but I'm gonna start my own business and I'm gonna do this and that. Okay, that's cool. Do that too. But you got to start the baseline because at a minimal, you can get rich for sure in that 30-year period. What you want to try to do is how do I collapse the time?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And how do you collapse the time? Business, start a business, make more money, and start a profitable business while you work in your job. And again, like my CPA said, You focus on making as much money as you possibly can, because then it's not just 20%. Think about what if you doubled it, and now you making so much money and your overhead is covered. You're able to still move around how you want to move, and maybe you're doing 40% into investments.
Mm,
That'll collapse the time.
for sure.
You know, habits of successful. Now let's talk about some of the habits of successful saver investors. The following are important rules: same house, same property, same car. New homes, new cars are expensive. So are divorces. The average cost of a divorce is 11,300, and the median
Ooh.
is 7,000. That's a lot of money not to be saved. All right. Habits, key habits. Saver investors. They live frugally. They don't fall into the trap of spending money to impress other people.
I like that.
They purchase high quality products. Even
Mm,
though they're frugal, they're willing to spend on products that will last, such as reliable cars and well-made furniture. They stay out of credit card debt. That's self-explanatory, because that interest gonna kill you. Even with it being unsecured, it'll take you forever to not have to pay it. Your credit jacked up, and we talked about what it looks like when you have bad credit. Everything else is gonna go up. You get a car, your auto is gonna be higher. So like that, you don't want to go down that path. They hang out with other saver investors. Being around people with the same goals helps saver investors stay on the right track. It's funny that you say that, because my boy that I had coffee with yesterday after I worked out, we met at Financial Peace University.
mm,
Him and like it was me and my wife and him and his wife. We all together, and we're all friends to this day. But that's how we met. And then when we meet, we talking personal development, we talking about finances, life, family. We talk about all things. But like, absolutely, hanging around with like-minded people who's doing other things that you aspire to do, that you are doing. And so, because what it does, it reaffirms going down the right path. They're not
right.
they're not afraid. Okay, they hang it. Yeah, they're not afraid to ask for help. Again, CPA. I reached out to my CPA, got help with my taxes, and we got things that we can do to make it better. Only a small percentage of people start successful companies or earn a huge salary because of their special talents. Most follow a more accessible path to wealth. It takes time and hard work, but if you're willing to put in that work, saving and investing could turn you into a millionaire. What are your thoughts when you hear
I just think,
when you hear that? Because that is really the reality. When you hear people say, "Oh, I'm gonna start a business and it's gonna be a multi-million-dollar business," I'm rooting for you. I'm really rooting for you. Oh, I'm gonna make 500,000, $500,000 in my job. But realistically, go look up the numbers. The total household median income is $70,000 on an individual level. And I'm throwing like loose out there, but if you look, it's not far off, because I've looked at it 20 times. A single person, because we're black, so I'll just go with that. A black African male, they're in that $45,000 range, 40-ish. A black female around the same, like it. And so when you're looking at these numbers, but then when you're looking at IG, you might even be watching YouTube, and you like, and everybody out here getting to the bag. Everybody ain't out here getting to the bag.
mm,
Not the way that, not the way that you're thinking. And then even when it's people quote unquote making six figures, they still check. Some of them are still check to check, even with them being a smaller pool of people that have made it to that level. And then of course you got people that are, entrepreneurs making more money than that. But not all entrepreneurs, and don't get it twisted, not all business owners make Sometimes you might may be making more on your job than someone is making in their struggling business. Now, if you do have that business and it's booming, you have a phenomenal opportunity. If you are making six figures, you have a phenomenal opportunity. But now, what if you're making six figures and you get a business? You might be cooking with some gas right there. But I know that's not everybody's story, but it can be something aspirational. Heck, maybe you're making 50 and then you find a side hustle and then maybe you match what you're making. You making more money. So like it's so many different ways to skin it, cut it, flip it, you know. But the biggest thing is you gotta make more money. Or you gotta
Yep.
produce your dreams.
Yep. I
Because
think
it take money to fund it.
it does. That's true. I really like that list because I think that a lot of that stuff on that list, because see, I think the trap that a lot of people get caught up in is, well, I'm gonna wait till I start making all that money, then I'm gonna get an advisor because it really ain't nothing to manage right now, or I don't need to do all that yet. But that stuff can happen now, or you don't have to go pay for an advisor, but hey, put your ear to the ground and see if there's any free sessions. Are there any seminars? Or, take the initiative upon yourself to want to go learn because like having like to having a CPA on your team, like just for me working, I work very closely with CPAs and bankers, and I can just see on the personal side and on the business side just how valuable it is having such a good, like having those good people on your team as a connection, like just how they can open doors for you. Having a good business banker relationship or a good CPA who can like they told you, you just focus on breaking it up, and I'll focus on organizing and getting it clean and all that. I'll do that, but I think that it's kind of like how you said people kind of I guess they treat their backup plan. They're going to fall back on I'm gonna start a business. I'm going to do all this. Like you said, that's great, but either way, whether no matter how you make the money, the way I see it, like you're saying, I don't care how you make the money. I don't care if you found $100,000 outside in a bag of a duffel bag. You, you're not going to have any of that when it comes to retirement age if you don't put any of it up. So regardless of how you make the money, you
Right.
need to develop those habits of putting away, like the article said, at least 20% or more of each time you find some money.
Right, right, and that's speaking to the paying yourself first, right? The pay yourself principle, that's a wealth principle. The Richest Man on Babylon. Check out that book. It's a good wealth principled book. You know, and so yeah, man, that's why we do this show. We want to encourage people, and let's be clear. I get it. Like some people might be there already and they're doing it, but then maybe you need to take. Maybe this is encouragement for you to take it up another level, take it up another notch, right? But then maybe you're not at that point, and that's okay. But if you're striving to do more, be more, have more, be do have. You got to be first. You got to be wealthy. You got to think wealthy. You got to start moving wealthy. You gotta know that's who you are, so you can be, and then because then you're doing, and then you will have. A lot of times, people say, "Oh, well, I'll wait till I have it." No, that's not really how it works. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? And so,
right.
like with your finances, if you got $100, pay yourself 10, get in the habit of that. And then what happens is, because it's percentages, and as the money increases, because it's already built into your practice and your principles, it's gonna automatically be built in. It's no different from someone saying, "Oh, well, I really can't give 10% of my income away because I don't have enough." Well, if you can't give away that, I'm talking about on the inverse of giving now, but like if you can't give away 10% of $100, you're not going to give away 10% of $1 million. There's no way.
uh-uh.
You're gonna be like, man, man, what? Like 100,000.
Sheesh. Mm-mm. Ooh. Yeah, you like you got to start at some point. At some point, 'cause it's never gonna feel good. and it's kind, and that's just with any. I guess it's just with most areas of life. You gotta just stand up because I mean, same thing with the taxes. I know that check didn't feel good, but it feels a lot better than trying to, because you were mature enough to say, okay, it costs to be a boss, I gotta pay this. You didn't say, I gotta cut corners by any means necessary. That kind of reminds me of Psychology of Money. He talks about how in one part, these people that are already multimillionaires, already billionaires, how it took that it was their greed that said, you know what, I need to go from 1 billion to 10 billion. And that's what caused their empire to collapse. That those type of things. It's that greed. Because at that point, it's not a numbers thing. You don't need no more money after that point. So what is it that's driving you? You got to make sure that that desire that's driving you is pure. Because if not, you don't want to fund nothing crazy.
Facts, right? So, and to that point, the other thing that we want to make sure we are continuously working towards is character, right? Like character, operating from principles, and hey, we're not perfect, but that's what we bring into this channel, man. The underpinning, that we're talking about finances, but we're talking about working to have good character, working to be a great husband, striving to be a great husband and growth, like always looking to get better, do better, be better, have better. Um, and then of course having like goals that you're pursuing that you believe in, uh, and whatever that is for you, that's for you, you know. But yeah, man, that's that I just want to encourage people that Rome wasn't built overnight, like we say, just one day at a time, one step at a time. And the biggest thing is, which is helpful. And I think one of the articles spoke to it is a community. So what we're doing is we're building a cute community of folks that are looking to continue to level up in life. And we can do that together and encourage each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I had some other articles. I'm gonna hold those. I'm gonna keep those in the archive. I might bring them out at another time. Uh, I think this is a good stopping point for us. I think uh, episode 4 is in the books. Feeling good about it. Um, but we're gonna let y'all go. Um, any parting words?
Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully by the time you guys see this, I'll have gotten confirmation on the housing. So if not, if you haven't heard, pray for me. If so, send a congratulations. Let's celebrate together. Y'all kind of in the process with us. So it's an honor to have y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. You can just cut it out.